Hello, welcome, Croeso. My name is Gareth, and this is my friend Hiraeth. And we are here in Colondim. And firstly, I want to apologize for the long delay between episodes here. I tried to record a couple of episodes of the Harvest Festival that's going on even now, and unfortunately, both times my it was so lagging, it was appalling. And we're just going to run up here. We're going to go to Duilond in this episode. Um, no, actually, but first we're going to check Hobbit presents. Um, but both, the first time actually, my entire computer crashed. It was terrible. There is a serious issue with lag and massive performance problems when there are crowds gathered, even when you drop settings down. And it was just too much for my computer, which is pretty sad. They are working apparently on a 64-bit client, which, yeah, there's no ETA on that. However, I tried again, and although the system didn't crash, the lag was so appalling. And then I made a very rookie YouTuber's mistake, which I am very much a rookie at this point, as you can probably tell from all the lack of editing skills, etc. I got very disheartened and was basically just too frustrated to record for a few days. Back now, and hopefully if we carry on with our adventures, that type of incident won't happen again. Let's claim our daily reward. Oh, and we have a rare Madam Hunter's armor, which is very nice. That's a very OP, overpowered type of. We can claim this for free, and a nice bit of money. Another 200 gold, silver, I should say. So the armor, we can go into our if I get the right thing up. Here we go. So let's open that and see what we get. We get a choice here of items that. It's interesting. They are actually lower level, but the armor is actually less. But there are obviously stat bonuses. So I think what we would do ideally is, well, let's see. Well, I think perhaps we will take the chest piece. So we'll do that, and then we shall equip it. I think this armor is not particularly good looking, personally. Yeah. Okay, so that's given us at least a little bit of a stat boost. So as we go up here, we're going to. We don't have the use of a horse anymore, unfortunately. I'll take a look at the notifications in a little bit. Let's put auto. If I hit the number lock, I'll put auto run on so we can take a look at stuff. And I'm almost guaranteed that it's going to be Bingo's mail. Yep, there we go. One of these days we will answer that, but not this day. So we're coming up here. We've been, of course, this particular section. We've crossed this bridge. We didn't look over the bridge to see what kind of view it was. We should probably do that just to take a quick look. And there you have a nice view of Colondim. Very pretty. So we'll carry on out of first person. And Colondim is not, thankfully, it's not a long trek. And of course, once we've actually been to places, at least once the journey on each time, we will obviously skip over them in future episodes. So it's a beautiful late. I'm not sure. Well, there's supposed to be 4, but... So we turned up that way before to go and do the to get rid of Pamprouche and the orcs, etc. But we're just carrying on towards this arch here, and as you can see up there, there is in fact Duilond. And there's parts here, but we were going to turn up this little side street. Now there are apparently some festival events going on here. There's a little cave to the right up here, which we will not, right in there, which we will not enter. And at this point we will come up here. We will change our milestone skill to Duilond for now. Because we will be, although we will be actually that may have been a mistake. And we already have the
Suilad Melon.
We already have the stable for here. That may have been a mistake, in fact, because I think we will probably have to run back and forth to Columdum at some point. So there are various places to go here. There are 1 or 2 quests here, and I think what's happening now is that we are reaching a point where, here we go, here's this wine delivery.
Greetings to you.
The gift for a friend. If you remember, we were tasked with delivering a bottle of our cask of wine, I believe. Oh, splendid! I must admit that I wondered if perhaps Brigadier would come through on his promise. I should have known that he would not forget a friend. Ah, this vintage has the promise of aging nicely. Perhaps in some 30 years it will have aged sufficiently. You have my thanks, and we have a cloak, which is not as good as our equipped one. That ends that quest. We shall go up here, because the main quest is up here, and also another one that we have to talk to here. So there's this guy here, and this is part of this chain between the brothers, that one wants to leave Middle-earth, the other wants to stay.
The shadow is on my spirit.
So leaving Middle-earth. Oh, my brother wishes to leave Middle-earth, but I believe it is time for us to stand our ground against the shadow growing in the east. With your help, perhaps, Tauron will see reason. This Middle-earth which we love will soon face great peril, and we are bound to defend it. I cannot yet sail west.
Will you stay a moment and learn of my troubles?
So what was lost? Tauron must know that while I remain behind, I will ever be with him. To do this, I will need your aid. So much of this land has been our shelter and teacher, and our memories are filled with moments of joy and laughter because of this land. I think perhaps my brother will appreciate this well enough to see me on my journey as he begins his own. In the ruins of Dalring West there lies a sword upon a stone cairn. Born once by a Dunedain we fought beside... Dunedain is plural. Dunedain we fought beside in defense of our homeland. I may be able to remind my brother of our duty to Middle-earth. My duties here will not allow me to leave, but I hope you will see the need I have to seal this rift between my brother and me. Will you help me? And so we have to go to Dalring West to help him out. He has also a separate quest, which I believe is in the same place.
Will you hear my sorrows?
Yes. So the evil at Dalring West, and as again we've seen before, basically at various levels we are very carefully guided as to where we should be exploring and fighting, etc. Ancient battles were fought at the ruins of Dalring West. I wonder if there were ruins even then. And we had brought and we had thought the evil purged. Now goblins toil within the ruins and desecrate the memory of the place. I would ask that you do your best to clear the goblins from these ruins. It will ease my heart and perhaps aid my brother Toron to leave in peace. You will find the goblins in residence at Dalringwest to the west of Duilond. Please make your way there and drive these foul creatures from the ruins. And we get nice little amulet rewards there. Okay, so we'll come over here, and here is the Master of Duilond, which is part of the epic quest.
What do you need?
Master of the Refuge. Your news is troubling, Hiraeth. For dwarves to work peacefully with goblins is unusual enough, but to conspire in the abduction of an elf prince seems foolhardy even for them. I will not call our warriors to arms just yet. Cardovar is full of anger, which is to be expected, but as Master of Duilond it is my duty to exercise restraint. If the dwarves have indeed taken a Vorthal, we will fall upon them with such fury that the mountains shall shake at our passing. But this could also be a trick of the goblins. They would have much to gain by a war between elves and dwarves. Ah, wise.
Stay a moment.
What? That is such a not elven stay a moment type of voice. Yeah, so this is a wise elf, obviously. And here we have a level 11, which is orange, which is quite significantly above our level. So prologue, the emissary. I have dispatched an emissary to the dwarf city of Gondomon to relax the growing tension between elves and dwarves. And again, notice that elves is capitalized and dwarves is not. But I fear rumor of a Vorthal's captivity may prove too great a strain for her to ease. Journey north and west along the road to Gondomon, and tell Galithin what has transpired here. Together you and she must learn the truth of a Vorthal's whereabouts, and rescue him, if indeed he is a prisoner of the dwarves. I do not wish for war until we are certain of his fate. If a Vorthal has been harmed, or we are unable to free him, I will call our warriors to arms, but not before. Okay, so we are quite steadily reaching the point where we are fairly underleveled for the quests we're being given. The quests at Dalringwest level 9s, where it's only 2 levels above us, we should be able to deal with. We're coming back this way because we're actually now going to go up to this little area here. And here again is the Kalengil, who...
What can I do for you?
So Kalengil's vigil. So, Thinglar has succeeded in driving the darkness back from Tharngelir with your aid? I too have such a task before me, but alas, I have no trinket from Alas, I have no trinket from Rivendell to aid me. I do know much of the herbs of these lands, however, and can mix a draught that should serve to purify the nearby ruins. Will you lend me your aid in this endeavor?
Mind my words, traveler.
So, we need the cleansing draft. You have decided to help me? Excellent. There is a draft I know the making of that should cleanse the taint from the ruins of Dalringwest. I have most of the ingredients I need, but there is one remaining herb, a fragrant herb that grows on the shores of the river, running north to south below Duilond. 'Tis a simple matter to gather it, and I would do so myself, but the brewing is at a delicate stage right now, and I must keep a close eye upon it while my phone goes off. Would you gather the herbs I need, Hiraeth? And notice I say herbs because I do live in America and so have been corrupted to say the Americanisms there. So I believe that, yeah, that's his only quest. That is part of a chain. So we will come past here. There's a crafting area over there. We passed an elf lady that will eventually offer us a quest for housing if we wish it later on. So we are coming down this side. This again may be a little bit above us, and what we will do is we'll check this out. I know that there are. Well, let's first get our bear out. Yes, hello bear. I missed you too. So again, due to our profession, that the river is down this way, so we shall come this way. Due to our profession choice, we cannot harvest any of the nodes in the country that we come across. I'm hoping I'm going the right way because it's been a very, very long time since I've been here, and it obviously seems that I'm not. Okay, little detour. There is a path down to the river. At least I hope there is. There used to be. And I know we will be facing some mobs. I think wolves, etc. Ah, here we go. I went right past it. Or actually, I didn't, but I went the wrong way. We'll just come down the side here. Ah, yes, you see, now these are... We don't need to know. Those are not aggressive, so we will ignore those. But not sure if the boars are aggressive or not. But we shall take no chances. I don't... Oh, these are aggressive. Okay. I don't remember them being aggressive in the past, but that may not be true. And here we have... here we have... So let's just take out, like the first one. Alright. Oops. Here we have... And we'll get one more up here. If I remember rightly, we had to actually... Oh, no, it's just 3 of 3. So we were able to, in the past, like swim out a couple of little islands in the middle of the river, but it looks like they've changed quite a bit of this landscape. So that's interesting. So it does tell me at least that we are able to fight these slightly higher level mobs still, even with the increased hit points and the slightly reduced damage that has been introduced with update 23. We still seem to be doing relatively okay. And we'll just ignore that little wolf there, even though, well, we do have the deed, so... That was nice. I remember back in the days of the old EverQuest, the first EverQuest, that it was always... I used to play the mage primarily, and it was always a something you had to learn where you had to get your timing right so that your pet would be the one to engage and be the tank, so that you wouldn't draw, and you would have to be careful with the level of spell that you produced, because you could very easily draw aggro back onto yourself, and that wasn't always fun, although I did quite often tank those things. Now we've run a little bit further up into a different thing. We've come slightly the wrong way here, as I wasn't paying attention. We've come sort of half the way towards the evil Duilond area. So I apologize. Again, slight detour. So what we'll do is we'll hand in this particular quest, and then we shall make this a very, very short episode, relatively speaking. Come up here. And next time we shall push on to Duilond West, which I think will be the last area we'll be able to tackle without leveling here. So what I'm thinking of doing, and if you want to leave a comment, please feel free to do so. What I am thinking of doing is perhaps moving up to the other areas then of... I have completely gone the wrong way here, but that's okay. So I'm completely thinking of basically from this episode on going to do the starter area at the Dwarven area up in Farin's Court that way. And yes, we have basically run around far more than we needed to. So, if that sounds like a good plan to you, then I would suggest you come back to the next episode. Or the episode after next, I should say. Hopefully, we won't die in the next
What can
episode.
I do for you?
Okay. Ah, there, just in time. The last step of the process is to add the herbs you have collected for me. After that, it simply needs to steep for a few minutes, and the draft will be complete. I really do need to pronounce that H, don't I?
Will you lend me your ear?
So, cleansing the ruins. The draft is ready. All that remains is for it to be sprinkled upon the grounds within the ruins of Duilond West. It will encourage and speed the growth of the natural vines that one often finds in such places, so much so that by the end of the next spring the ruins will be buried in a great mass of them. In but a short time they will reduce the ruins to naught but rubble, returning them to pristine nature once again. To you I offer the honor of this task, for I find now that I cannot bring myself to destroy the place that I once loved so, even in its decrepit state. Pour the draught onto the ground beneath the 2 towers that remain standing amongst the ruins. Time and the forces of nature will do the deed with no further help from us. Okay. So this is basically saying that quests essentially don't go into our inventory. There is a special place for them. And we can actually click, if you see here, we add in there, and once it becomes, we find a usable spot, we may then click that.
Will you lend me your ear?
A cause for concern. My duty to this land will not be complete until this terror that brought ruin here is ousted. Your efforts thus far have been in earnest, and proved that you too desire to see the land restored and cleansed of the evil wrought hereon. While in the ruins, I would ask that you seek out the leader of the goblins there, Duilond. He is a particularly nasty goblin, and should not be underestimated. You will find this creature within the confines of Duilond West, to the west of Duilond. Return to me when the beast is slain. Okay. And if I remember rightly, he did cause some problems. So, we will call that an episode for now. And next time, I hope that you will join us as we go and attempt to cleanse Duilond West of the evil goblin presence. Until that time, this has been Gareth and his friend Hiraeth, and we hope to see you soon. Until then, have a safe, prosperous and well time in and out of Middle-earth. Take care.